What up, peeps? It's Gabe, and I am coming to do my fitness question and answer. Last week I told you guys that I was going to do this video, so I asked you to tweet me your questions with the hashtag #FitWithGabe. And yeah, I got some good questions, so I'm going to just jump right into it. I've kind of looked over them, but not really. I've got the questions here on my iPad. So I have always been on a diet or trying to lose weight or trying the next fat diet, like always. And I would say probably within the last year and a half, I really started to get it. Like after I had my son, I really started researching about, food and sugars and eating clean and what that actually means. And I'm not perfect, but I feel like I'm just now on the right path to where I really know what I should be eating, what I shouldn't be eating, how to have certain things in moderation. And it came to a point where I just got tired of not getting results, or losing 10 pounds and then gaining them all back once I got off of my diet. Like I just got tired of the dieting, and I'm like, you know what, the only reason for this to really work is for me to make lifestyle changes. It's one of those things where you have to take small steps at a time. Like just start cutting little things out here and there, and the more you do it, the easier it will become for you. And eventually you'll get tired of starting and stopping. You kind of have to think of it as like the big picture. Why do you want to lose weight, and why will it be beneficial for you? Because if you look at it for more than just the outside appearance factor, that will probably keep you a little bit more motivated. Like this is not about just being cute. This is about being healthy. Like this is my life. I only get one life. I only get one body, and I want to take care of it. So that's kind of what clicked for me. Like I think everybody has that moment where it clicked. Like I said before, the best place to start off is with small steps. Start taking inventory of your diet and how you really eat, and then look at little areas to improve. So it's like, okay, do I really need 3 sodas a day? Can I cut out 1 soda, or can I cut out 2 sodas, or do I really have to have bread with each of my meals? The small steps lead to big changes. And also set a goal. Once you get started, set a goal. Like break it down, like every week I want to lose 1 pound, or I want to lose 2 pounds, and you just take it step by step. Like that's the best way. That's, I guess, my best advice is to just take it step by step, small steps, and week by week. Like, what is your goal for this week? What is your eating goal for this week? What is your weight loss goal for this week? So then if you reach it, you can keep doing what you've been doing. If you don't reach it, you can go back and say, okay, well, what did I do this week that kept me from reaching that goal? How do you stick to it? I mean, you stick to it, the end result, like the goal. Keep the goal right there. It helps sometimes to like put your goal up. Like get a picture. Say you were smaller and you've gained weight. Get a picture of you when you were smaller. Put it up somewhere where you'll see it. Put it on the bathroom mirror. Look at it every day. And that serves as like your motivation. Like, okay, this is where I'm trying to get to. When you visualize it, it makes it easier for you to get there. You see it and you work towards it, and hey, that is what it is. Weight loss and all of that stuff, it's all a mind thing. Once you get your mind right, it's easier for you to stay on path and eventually reach your goals. Speaking of getting started on your journey, I wanted to tell you guys about this book that I've actually found on audible.com. It's called Start Here Now, and it's by Tulsa Reno. You guys know I love her. She's the author of the Eat Clean, all the Eat Clean diet books, and this is everything that I read last year when I was trying to get rid of my, my baby weight and try to get back to my pre-pregnancy weight. She taught me so much about clean eating. So she has this new book, and it's basically for people who are beginning, like who aren't really at the point to start at the Eat Clean diet. Like this is the before you read that book kind of. So it's available on Audible. If you go to audible.com/fix, you can download the book for free, because that I've been working with Audible and they want to provide my subscribers with a chance to try out their services. So go to audible.com/fix and get the book. Like, I think it's great. I downloaded it, and it also comes with a PDF of like reference materials. So in those reference materials, you'll get like 28 days of meal plans. She has some activities in there. She has some recipes, some cooking, like, you know, like how to roast and things like that. Like, it's really cool, because I was looking at it and I'm like, well, is this a book that I would actually want to like physically have? But then when I saw that it came with the supplements, I was like, oh, this is perfect. So I can listen to the book, and then I can reference what she's talking about on the PDF. So definitely check it out. Audible has a plethora of books for you to choose from, especially if you're looking for health and fitness. If you just go on there and type like fitness, or type in clean eating, or type in motivation, it'll pull up all of the books that, you know, would give you that. So I definitely suggest you go on there. If you see something that you think I might be interested in, come back and tell me about it. Like, I'm always looking for something new to read. So next question. Now, gaining weight is not really my forte. I can tell you how to gain weight the unhealthy way. But actually, my husband was actually on a journey to gain weight, and one of the things that he did, one of the first things he did, was he went on MyFitnessPal. And MyFitnessPal is actually great for gaining and losing weight. You go on there, you put your current weight, you put your goal weight, you put your activity level, you know, like how much you currently work out, and it'll give you how many calories you need to be eating per day. And you can choose, you know, whether you're trying to lose, and, you know, how much you're trying to lose, like in a week, or how much you're trying to gain. So basically, the premise of gaining weight healthy, you're going to have to up your calories. Like, there's no way around that. You're going to have to up your calories, but you just kind of focus on eating bigger meals. So up your protein, up your good carbs. Like, you just eat the healthy foods that you're eating, you're going to have to eat more of it. So you're going to have bigger meals. You're probably going to start having to eat 5 to 6 times a day. But if you go on MyFitnessPal and you put that information in, it'll give you the calories. So then all you have to do is find a meal plan and divvy up, okay, well, how many calories am I going to have for breakfast, for my snack, for my lunch, you know, things like that. So I'm not the best at that, because it's not really my forte, but hopefully that helps to get you started with gaining. And then also your exercise, you know, is going to have to couple up with that. So you might want to start weight training. Look into weight training if you're trying to, you know, gain some muscle and things of that. But yeah, hopefully that helps you. Okay, y'all know I'm a foodie, and I love food, okay? So for me, the biggest thing is to keep the goal in mind. If you are dieting per se, or, you know, restricting yourself from having something, say you want to cut out your sweets, or you want to eat less of your sweets, the thing that keeps me going is to look at my goal. Like, what is it that I'm trying to do? Why am I dieting, first of all? And what's the end result? So once you picture the end result, a lot of times it's easier to stay on track, because, you know, hey, summer's around the corner. I want to look fly in my bathing suit. Maybe I don't need an extra donut. Maybe I don't need a donut, period. So like, if you're actually dieting, which it should be a lifestyle change. Like, you should be trying to develop healthier eating habits, period. But yeah, I mean, we all diet. So if you're like dieting and you have a goal in mind, and you know you're trying to slim down for you know, something in the future here, just keep the end result in mind. And then another thing, I try to find recipes for things that I like that are bad for me, but, you know, like cleaner. So how can I make clean brownies, or how can I make clean, you know, I don't know, ice cream or something like that. So because a lot of times you're going to have these cravings, and the goal is to not succumb to the cravings all the time. I think the gist of what you're asking is, can you eat whatever you want and then work it out later? No, because all the exercise in the world is not going to negate a crappy diet. Like, you can't eat crap, hop on a treadmill for an hour or so, and think you're good. Like, the goal should be to be healthier, and some things you just kind of want to cut out just to make yourself healthier. So no, You can't just eat what you want and then work it off later. 80% of weight loss comes from what you put in your mouth and what you eat. So you probably have better results if you ate really, really clean and didn't work out versus eating crappy and working out all the time. So yes, yeah, I have tried every single diet there is. Like literally, there's probably not very many diets out there that I have not tried. And when I was in college, I did the Atkins diet and it really worked for me. Honestly, it worked for me. I was able to do it. I think I lost maybe like 20 pounds. I really don't remember. I mean, that was years ago. I would never try to do it now just because I don't think it's realistic to completely cut out your carbs. Like I think that you have to be in dire straits to really just restrict yourself of eating carbs. And I don't think it's the healthiest way, but it does work. It does work, but you know, I think that you have to find what's going to work for you. So the Atkins diet might be great for some people. I would just never go back down that route because now I know that there are good carbs that my body needs that I can eat. Like I'm not going to deprive myself of a sweet potato or some brown rice or some quinoa. Like it's just, I know now how to have it in moderation. So while I don't necessarily recommend it, it does work for some people. So, you know, if it works for you, stick with it. Cardio. You have to work out. Like it's really difficult to target certain areas. Of course, there are things you can do to tone up your arms. You know, you can do your bicep works and your tricep works and your shoulders and the back, like all of that. Weight training is great for that, but it all comes down to cardio. If you have a bunch of fat covering up your muscles, you can, you know, do bicep curls, tricep curls all day long, but you're not going to see much of the definition because of the layer of fat that is surrounding the muscle. So the best thing to do to lose the arm fat is to do cardio. Cardio is the best way to lose. I think I got another question about losing the lower pouch. There are, you know, ab exercises and things of that nature that help, but you know that saying that abs are made in the kitchen, it's all made in the kitchen. Your diet is what is going to make the biggest difference, like what you're eating and doing that cardio, because you want to shed the layer of fat that's over the muscles. You know, it does cost a little bit more. Yes, it does cost a little bit more to buy fresh produce and, you know, vegetables and meat. Like for whatever reason, they are a little bit more expensive than buying, you know, ramen noodles and boxed hamburger helper or whatever. But you have to look at the end result. Is it worth it? It's an investment. If this is going to, you know, fuel my body and it's going to allow me to be healthier, it's going to help me reach my goals, then it's worth it to pay just a little bit more. There are ways to shop, let's say on a budget if you're trying to eat healthy. Like you can Google things like cheap, clean eating meals. Like you can pretty much Google anything and you can find it. But there are ways around, you know, spending so much money for eating healthy. You can try going to your local farmer's market to find your fruits and your vegetables. Meal plan, try to find items that'll get you maybe 2 or 3 meals out of it so that you're eating kind of the same things but maybe just switching them up a little bit. So it's doable. Don't automatically assume that eating healthy is going to be way more than what you're spending now. I work out probably about 5 times a week. Whatever program I'm doing, I usually do it Monday through Friday, sometimes on Saturdays, but I'm really lax on the weekends. It all goes back to nutrition. What you eat will determine what your belly looks like, honestly, because I have weeks where I eat really, really good and really clean, and my belly is flat and I'm not bloated, and it's wonderful. And then I have those weeks where I may have had a 2-3 glasses of wine, or I had a piece of cake or some cookies, and I'm bloated. Like I'm bloated and I can tell the difference. So it's all about what you eat, what you put in your body. You got to get rid of the sugars. Like you have to cut back on your sugars. You have to cut back on your sugars, eat more protein, eat more good carbs, complex carbs, so it's all in your diet. Like there's no special way. You can do all the sit-ups and crunches you want to do, but if you're eating crap, that belly fat is still going to be there. If you're trying to lose weight, basics for what you should be eating are lean proteins, fruits, vegetables, and your good complex carbs. So like that's the bulk of what your diet should consist of, and everything else is extra. Just focus on eating good, healthy foods, clean foods, things that don't come out of the box, and they're not packaged, they're not sitting on a shelf. Try to stick to the fresh options, because that's gonna make the biggest difference. How to handle sweets. It's okay to have a sweet every now and then, but look for ways to make your sweets cleaner. Just look for clean eating versions of the foods that you really, really like for those moments where you feel like, oh, I gotta have something sweet. And then other times, sometimes you just have to give in. I mean, you can't deprive yourself completely. So it's just all about moderation. Moderation is key. I think that may be all the questions. Yay! Hopefully you guys got some tips from me, some things that you may not have known. If you have more questions, feel free to leave them down below in the comment section. I may do videos like this ever so often, just to kind of answer your questions. So yeah, I hope that this was helpful for you guys. Don't forget to check out audible.com/fix. The Start Here diet book is really good. I highly recommend it. If you're not interested, there are plenty, but just make sure you check that out. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I will see you in the next video. Bye.